Alright guys, my arm is sprained right now, so I'm going to be doing something kind of a little bit different, doing a little review on my Commencal Mullet bike. It was a pretty good bike. I'm getting a new bike right now, so I figured I'd do a review before I sell it. Looks pretty rad, and I love the bike, don't get me wrong. It's just, time for something new. So I'm going to go over some riding footage maybe, and then kind of walk you through my complaints with it and what I like. So this is the top of lower bowl right now. The bike handles pretty well on the tight corners and stuff for being like a big, long downhill bike. My only complaint with it was that it was pretty heavy. Like not here, like pretty good because you're going fast and quick. And my other biggest complaint would be the braking, and not like that the brakes were bad, I'm not that dumb. Like the under braking, the traction, it would really stiffen up and pitch you forward a bit. So coming up to the road here, beautiful. I think I was trying to outrun one of my greasy friends here, so I was riding pretty decent speed. But yeah, pedaling, I would consider myself a pretty good pedaler. That's kind of weird. I would consider myself pretty good, but this bike is definitely heavy to pedal. I know downhill bikes aren't supposed to be light, and it's not even because it's aluminum, it's just heavy even for an aluminum downhill bike. It was close to 40 pounds, so even though I put a lot of training into pedaling, it just kind of leveled myself back out with the rest of the field with all my training, just because of how heavy the bike was. And yeah, let's see, riding pretty good here, decent speed. This is a super easy trail. It kind of excelled at steep and fast, like Cannonball Trail. I don't know if you've heard of it, Steeple. That's kind of where it excelled more than this, tighter corners, even though this is pretty fast and open. Just trying to outrun one of my greasy friends here. And then, yeah. Wow, look at that. It's just dialed. Lost traction a little bit there. Gotta look back, make sure nobody's too close to me, because that would be scary if someone caught me. You gotta take every run like a race runner if you want to be the best. I also have seen that a lot of the Commencal team hasn't had very good luck. Like, they don't look like the smoothest riders. The Commencal bikes can be fast, but it's definitely not the smoothest riders. And most of the problems that I have complained about, they fixed on the new bikes. This was a 2020, so I had quite a few problems that I was not very happy with. This dad I'm coming up to, little kids are screaming, "Dad, watch out!" Hey Dad. Oh yeah, I got a sick little line there. And then see, this is where it really didn't excel. I would just kind of cruise where it's pedaling, because it just never pedaled that well. Just wasn't the best pedaling bike. See, take this guy out. Oh yeah, get him, Jacob. Heading right towards the bottom here. It was a good solid run. Pretty fast bike overall, but I wouldn't say it's the most composed bike. And for me, my riding style is really like bunny hopping into corners, bunny hopping out. My riding style is not staying on the ground with a heavy bike like that. A little bunny hop. It's not the best bike for it. It's pretty heavy. This is coming up to something more technical. This is a waterfall section coming up. This is where the bike really, under braking, the back suspension really stiffened up and pushed you forward. It was super slack having it as a mullet, so that kind of helped a little bit, but it was still really not the best. Big hit here, big drop. It's pretty good at the really fast, steep, technical, and even these bits in the forest here. But for the big holes, like right here, there's a pre-hop you can do. And I'm not a big fan on this bike because it's just so heavy. You have to pull harder and go faster to do the little things. Like jumping, it's definitely not the best bike. Commencal is pretty hard to beat for the price. Their prices are amazing, and the new bike looks like it's taking care of all the problems by lowering the idler pulley, and that looks like it's helping with the braking a lot. That's my biggest complaint, because they do carry really good speed. Here I am coming up to the bottom. Oh wow, okay. Oh wow, that's incredible. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty good bike. It's just time to move on to something different. It suits my riding style a bit more. I would say go over the bike again. Kind of the cons are probably Commencal isn't a very composed bike. At least the Supreme isn't. A lot of the riders always seem to be injured. I'm not sure. That could just be perspective, but that's just something to note. They aren't the best for tricks. Like, I've backflipped this bike before, and it does not rotate as quickly nearly as my YT downhill bike did. One of the other cons is that the weight is pretty heavy at 40 pounds. Online it sounds pretty light, but they build it up with rock shocks, and then once you actually put Fox on it or anything that's not like the lightest components ever, it's going to be like 40 or 41 pounds. And then the last con is it's not that good under braking. It really stiffens up. The pros, I would say, is it's a really fast bike. It's a really durable bike. I've landed backflips in every way that you can, horribly, and still survived. And the cost is really cheap. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars. I don't necessarily need a carbon bike, and I'm not saying I'm getting a carbon bike, but it was a great bike overall, especially for the price. It's pretty unbeatable.
I'll raise enough hell till you give in and give it to me.